Come with me, Huna Flash, and 144 Dragon Riders on September 22nd and September 26th in Vancouver. There are 2 dates to provide limited seating. Join me for an experience of a lifetime as I take you on a journey through the tears of a dragon, through your inner being, higher dimensions, to your lowest dimensions. A dragon ride that will help expand your consciousness and provide healing and assistance to your physical and your spiritual being. We look forward to greeting you there, and we look forward to riding with you. Okay, my ninjas, it's time. Get that raffle. You win a 1-to-1 session with myself, Huna Flash. You know what the time is. It's time to get together. Get that raffle out there, and I'll see you. Just you and I. Nobody else. Just me and you. My ninja. All righty, sweet dear ones, sweet daily beloveds. Here we are yet again. Happy Unrata to you. What an incredible day we have here. Incredible moment. I had a wonderful time this morning at the beach. Don't mean to be bragging, but it was fantastic. I hope you do enjoy the energies I shared with you on the Facebook, on the Book of Face. Incredible subject matter today, and incredible visitors here to join us in the conversation together. We've got the Tears of a Dragon, as you know, the subject matter that is partly referring to the ascension process, and also is also addressing somehow the flooding that's taking place. Tears of a Dragon. We also we have special guests here today from the SEAL Team Michigan, who are responsible, I think, also for more of this flooding. But we're going to get into that as we get along here. It's going to be fun. Welcome to everybody over there on the Grams of Instant. To Nakahasahi Manamnams over there, Hamburg, Germany. Huna Tawaho, and also Yewa. How do you say that? Yewa. That's Yewa will do. Shihundu 4, Wolf Dashman, Stephanie. Welcome, sweet dear ones. Good morning to you. EJ Surlo. Nourish your light body, us. Okay. And Zarina Ferendez, hola, Violet, welcome, Violet. The Adventures of Quakers. Now that's something interesting. Welcome. Daily's Muse, welcome back. Helen Morris, good to see you here. Field no, what? I don't know. Field no, field. What? Oh, field no, just, oh, that's you, Huna, Evangeline. Hi there, welcome to you from Ivory Land, County Kerry. It's good to see you there. Thank you for visiting. I miss you guys, by the way. Glean Josephat, welcome. Natty Curry, October Dragon. Yeah, October's coming up fast. And AKA Claudette Martinez. Welcome over here on the tube of you. Wonderful. Always wonderful to see all your attendance here, everybody. So grateful. Welcome, Jane Danielson, standing by over there in Denmark. You're standing by for your seal, who may be getting sealed this week. Welcome here, Jane. Una Mamarika, welcome, who's in the SEAL Team Michigan. Una, yes, Thomas, good to see you again. He too mata. Thank you very much for that kind reminder, shining our light brightly. Eternal Star Atamarie, Tamaki Makoto. Welcome from the Tamaki Makoto, which is over there in Auckland, New Zealand, in the land of the long white dragon, I might say. So welcome to you. Connie McDonald over there, Ontario. We're looking forward to you coming to the mass dragon ride, Connie, and the burning mask, I take it. Coming up very shortly. Huna Tasaina. Hana Tasaina, Wawanui, Nakota Light Warrior, welcome Momoera Il, Mont Blanc, welcome back Mountaineer. You're such a mountaineer, you are. Wawa to you, you're from you're over there and is that Mildred Solheim over there in Norway? T. Nicole, also Felicity Kawamanato, Huna Kawamanato from the Wall of Corns, and the Tintagel, and the Tintagel, I would call it sometimes. Huna Mahata Nuipa, it's an incredible Huna. Mahata Nuipa, Wawa, welcome Leah, and Sedona. Hi there, Huna Hirimata. Welcome. How's the hair doing? It seems to be growing thick these days. That's a great sign. Growing hair, thick strands of hair. That's great. And everywhere. Huna what? Otawaho over there in Norway. Sherilyn Grayer, New Brunswick, Canada. In the house, say, Sherilyn, you're going to come over to the Burning Mask in Vancouver? You're not that far away. One flight, you'll be there. Let's make it happen. Starseed Energy, Wawanui, Huna Manakori in Virginia Beach. Fantastic. Makaresa, Huna Makaresa. Sweet. Bigot. Yes. Tamara. You're over there in BC in Salmon Arms. I hope tomorrow you're coming to the Burning Mask in Vancouver. I'm going to keep bugging all the Canadians just so you all know, right? I'm just going to keep bugging you to come. Niam Cronin, hello to you there in Ireland. Welcome. Wow. Did I just go through all of that? 100 and something? No. Well, 100 is like 70 so far, but it's always building up. Thank you all for being here, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. For those of you in the Book of Faith, one day we'll be able to get to you directly when Elon Musk buys up Facebook and takes over YouTube. Yes, so we have an incredible guest lineup today. Let's just go straight into this. We've got a video we're going to share first, and then we're going to come out and we're going to introduce our SEAL team of Huna's SEAL Team Michigan. Okay, so we've got a video to share with you to kick it off. This video was created by the Hunas over there, and by Kim. What is your Huna again? Where are you? Tarakuya, Huna Tarakuya. So she had put this together, and let's check it out. Wow, I'm just so honored. Look at that navigation on that map where they began and where they spiraled through the locations of the Wataka and the Motus. We'll talk to you all about that, sweet dear ones, just so you get an idea of what we're talking about here. We'll try to do the best we can. But let me now introduce you to Huna SEAL team who painted the targets from the net of Maui, Te Kupinga Maui in Michigan. So why don't you guys just come on in and introduce yourselves? Una Tarakuya, Una Mawarika, Una Mahopaku, and Huna Manakata. Welcome, all of you. Wow, just incredible. You know, it's I looked at you watching your video and just incredible. You know, it's everybody's videos, I guess. Watching your video, just incredible. My heart sings. You know, I'm so honored. I'm so grateful. And the ancestors and the elders also can feel them in my heart. And I can feel them connecting here, witnessing the thing. And of course, they were with you. And of course, they were. But just as we are watching here, we want to bring on the tears of the dragon, but for joy. The tears of the dragon for joy, because what you have done, painting the targets, you are taking all the knowledge and wisdom you have learned from the dragon masters and your own skills that you have accumulated, and you're going and you're laying and connecting the communications for all of those locations you were attending to, and you do it in a certain sequence. There's a certain protocol that's aligned to the undoing, and this is aligned to service beyond the self, which is the undoing of what does not serve. And in that action, I am honored, and the ancestors are honored in this way, because you are guaranteeing these things by doing that. You are guaranteeing it. When everybody has their word and can simply speak it or telepathically connect to it and are guaranteeing it this way, certainly. But also when these teams, these SEAL teams, and this team and many teams to come and many who are already doing it, this next level, this ascension process. We don't fight. We don't need to fight. It's a matter of just undoing what doesn't serve. There no fighting is bypassed. We know the lesson of fighting, not needed. Let me just shut my mouth for a minute. I'm like blabbering. Somebody stop me. But now let me just allow the leader of the group to begin sharing with us, and then also introduce yourselves. Perhaps introduce yourselves first, and then let the leader speak.
Okay, so I'm Huna Tarakuya, and I ended up heading this mission. Just a little background on the why. I spent actually it was at the undoing of the nails in Cornwall last year is actually what cracked this open for me. As I was led to, after the Cornwall mission, or the undoing, to go to Ireland, and I was at the Hill of Tara, which is all about burial mounds there, and ancient sites, of course. And that really set me on a journey for the past year of going to these various indigenous burial mounds in the United States. And that journey kind of took me into the Cahokia mounds, which are in Illinois, Spira mounds, Serpent's Mound in Ohio, Four Corners area at the eclipse time. And what I was led to do is, one of my particular passions and loves is to build pillars of light. I build these pillars of light, and I connect it to the etheric crystalline grid and down into the earth ley lines, or dragon lines, actually. And this helps connect and set these containers, really, and I can program them. Not something special to me, it's something I love to do. But what's unique about this particular mission is because there were many of us who were not able to be always in person, because the mission was so big in an area, and it spawned over a period of 2 weeks. And so what the Hunas did was, I had them record their login on just a sound clip. And then when I was at ceremonial sites, when we were doing the ceremony, I would play their codes and their intentions into this pillar of light, which then sets the container, and it connects everywhere. And so that's how we proceeded with this mission. Even though they weren't always with me, sometimes they were, but they were always there because I was playing their intentions and their codes. So I just kind of wanted to set that up. That's how it's a little unique in this, and it took us a period of 2 weeks. We started around the 16th or 18th of July and went to the 28th. So I'll pass that on over to the next Huna.
Incredible. Who would like to go next? You're muted.
Hello.
So. Hello.
I am the sound of Huna Manakata. I was introduced to the entire world of Hunas through Kim. I had dreams of the other dragon rides and other missions that the teams had gone on before I even knew what you guys were. Upon sharing that with my spiritual advisor and with Kim, I learned about you guys. I became sealed, and then upon Kim and I sharing our experiences, we determined that we needed to hit some targets in Michigan, and we came up with the ones that, based on our schedules, which ones that each of us could do individually and which ones that we wanted to do together. Kim and I were together physically on the opening ceremony and the close ceremonies. I hit targets in South Haven, so that would be on the west side of Michigan. I hit the Port Huron target. Originally, we did want to include a skydiving target, but the way the universe had it work out, we did not get a skydiving mission in before we completed this mission, although that is not out of the realm of possibilities. A skydiving mission will occur. It just didn't for the Michigan one. That's all I got so far.
It's amazing. Well, we'll come back to it. We're going to come back. So who would like to go next?
Anui.
Anui.
I'm Huna Mahapaku. I am a representative sent by the Blu-ray. I am also a planetary grid work, energetic shaman, and of healer of many sorts. My journey was really started from what the Hunas would refer to as Sector 1, Order from Chaos. It was a very chaotic situation, and it caused me to activate this Kaha within me. But at the time, I didn't know it to be Kaha. I just knew it was this very, very powerful energy, and it was hot, and and it kind of felt like if left unchecked, it was destructive, because Kaha can either be very firm or it could be soft. It's a very powerful energy, and so without the proper training, without the proper regimen, it can be very destructive. And so it was a journey of toning it. It was a journey of learning it, learning the origin, and learning where I come from and my roots and my essences. And it also was me remembering a great amount of things. Now, with these remembrances, certain things were hitting my mind. Like one of the first memories I had was being a Mississippian indigenous, and so with knowing that, along with the memory came the trauma of what happened there, what Huna referred to as the fighting, which would be the old program. It came that trauma. And so I started to think to myself, like, how could I change this? How could I be of any resolution in this current time space? And my team, my spirit guides, it was just guiding me towards the grids. You watch certain animes and you see these anime characters, they always moving around, they going to different places on the earth. And we don't really realize how symbolic that is. Now these grids, it's like the nervous system. It's like the inner workings of the planet that we're on, planet Materia. And so when I would put my hands down on the grids, I would have these remembrances and would visit these places in my consciousness. And so that led me to thinking, if I can do that, then that means the way that I would be, quote unquote, like fighting or responding to the old energy I saw as opposition would be through running frequency. And so through running frequency and through remembrances, it aligned me to one of my Lemurian past lives. And through the alignment through Lemuria, I was aligned to my soul tribe. I came to meet Huna Maurika. I came or not even to meet, to remember Huna Maurika, Azubuke, Huna Masani, Huna Masaki. These people really, really changed my life. Now, with this mission specifically, I had already been working with the indigenous elders on a portal near where I'm at, near my house. And so this is a portal that was blocked off from the rest of the public. It's like its front is like a regular part, but in the back part of it is the portal, is the gateway. And you can see the actual beings and the photos and everything is really guarded. And the story behind this place was that this was a civilization in a reservation held by what we know as the Earth Guardians or the Earth Tribe. And so the Earth Tribe, they did their best to defend this area, and it was one of our places like just for celebration, community, unity, consciousness, and basically they gave their essence to still stay there, and even went as far as coming back as trees and different entities in the area to protect it. And so I filled into this story myself, and I didn't know that this would be my first mission. Now mind you, this is before I was still. This was with Huna Maurika, and I let her know. I'm like, sis, I'm at this place and I'm speaking in this language, and I'm like, I don't really understand what I'm saying, but it was very fiery, and and I remember just getting flashes of what happened, and just letting her know, and she feels into it, she logs into it, and yeah, just while I begin to see these things and remember, I begin to cry because it was a soul liberation for me, you know. It was like, okay, so I'm back where I came from. I'm clearing up the work and I can feel it. And so all that led me to this current mission. And with this mission, it was a bit of the same work, checking in with different indigenous elders and spirits on the land, as well as the elemental forces, and even as far as going back in time when you actually own the land. Very, very powerful work. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do this now and continue to do this in the future.
Incredible.
Hi, I am Huna Mawariga, and how I came to this mission in particular was because as soon as I became a sealed Huna and I began to learn the undoing codes before I joined the Dragon's Masters class, what I would do is re-watch my seal and learn that way. And from there, I was guided heavily to join in on the Dragon's Masters course. And that's where all the magic happened. So I'm still in the Dragon's Masters intensive course, scheduled to graduate in June. So what I did was commit to doing the undoing codes every single day. Like I needed to learn them by heart. And I would practice the logins in any place that I can, and particularly the beaches. So we share our logins and our reportings in the Dragons Masters WhatsApp group. And from there, my logins over time made it into the missions. And it's where the other Hunas were working, and so they incorporated my logins as well, which is amazing because that's what being a Huna is all about. A sealed Huna is that we are all together, sealed and a part of the same frequency, and together we work towards these missions. And it doesn't matter where or when you are, we have the ability to tap into one another and each other's frequencies at all times and support and work together in unity. And I thought that was phenomenal. And I look forward to continuing to expand with my Huna brothers and sisters in the most infinite ways, because there is no distance, just as there's no time stopping us from doing the work. And our intentions is there. And I know that we just finished another mission led by Mahupak not so long ago, and there were a few Hunas that weren't so-called present there, even on the call, but they were able to report in their dream state being there and what they seen and being pulled in. So this is big. It's much more bigger, and the link it's far. We're in all corners of the earth, and also inside and outside the earth, and everywhere and all around. So it's amazing. I'm learning so much, and we're all expanding together. So gratitude for this experience.
Thank you all so very much. Those wonderful testimonies. This is the real deal. this you have in this doing so you expand and you build your capacity, and when that happens, the levels of your fractals, right, the cellular level, the fractal level, uh, gets expands through the field, morphogenic field, through the telepathic field, through the microwaves and the carriers, the microwaves that carry all your signals, and it's reaching everybody. And those bandwidths, whatever vibration and frequency that you have, it's really reaching all around, absolutely around the world, but certainly it's making the stronger bandwidth of a broadband signal becoming very, very actionable. It's a frequencies that are very actionable, vibrations that are very actionable. And the more you do things like this, the more it's, again, like you practice to become ready for the match. And when you're in the match, and you're constantly in the mission, you're building exponentially. And everybody connected to the great source element, ascension light of the seal, um, has that connection into one light, one soul, the one in the many, many in the one. So, we are so much in each other's dreams lately. We are so much up in each other's business. uh, Minus the drama, all the good stuff, just all the good stuff. We're all the way up in there, and it's just amazing, the communication that's coming across. Now, as you have all been together on this mission, can you share some of the fallout? What has been the result? Have you seen the result of your work taking place in the physical, in this matrix, whether it be whatever it might be? It could be big, could be small, but it's not big. It's not small. It's always big, no matter what it is. It's just a huge response. Can you guys, any one of you, if you're able to,
I could share
something?
I could speak to the fact that literally a month after we did the cracking with the Michigan mission, there was a severe thunderstorm that left over 300,000 people without power, and knocked down trees and power lines as well. And so we know that to be direct evidence of Sector 1, order from chaos.
Wow. And what location do you recall?
That was all over. I would believe it was heavily concentrated in Detroit, Michigan, but it was all over Michigan, like statewide.
Yes, we lost power. 3 days, no power. So we were a result of that.
Fantastic. Okay, so if I can speak to this, there's a lot of flooding going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course. So maybe it's part of the seasons. Well, in that case, we are part of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
The seasons of love.
I can say that in my experience, since our mission completed, that in my 3D job, I work at a healing center, more and more people in the community have been coming in, and it's as if a switch has been flipped within them, that they're no longer agreeing to the confines of what they've agreed with all of their lives. They're suddenly stepping in to their own power. I have seen it really ramp up since our mission completed. It's very heartwarming for me to see it. And then me personally, when I go out in my life, strangers feel very open to just come up to me, tell me their life story, and then include that they're just suddenly like, hey, I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to be different. And I think that I can. Despite how the world looks right now, more and more people are feeling it within their core that they can be what they want to be, that they can be a part of the change. It's as if everyone believes in themselves now. And I don't want to we're not going to take full credit on that, but I know
And
that
take
it's
full
in
credit.
our area.
Take
We
full
definitely
credit.
helped that. We nailed that. And I personally, my part in our missions was the maritime law, the undoing of that. I have a family connection with that. My father was a maritime lawyer, and once the team got to talking, I realized, oh, Herman's Mermans, that is my part in this. It is my part to undo that for our team. And when I hit the coastlines of the state, I drew in symbols into the sand right as the waves were crashing. I had to be quick so I could time it out to where I could get those symbols in, set my intentions, and then tell the waves, hey, I want you to take this to every molecule of water that you're going to travel towards. So that energy that I put into each symbol before the waves came and got, I put it into the sand and allowed the waves to slowly wash away and take the power and the energy of each symbol with it. And I did that on both coastlines. And also I hit up another location in like the northeast part of our state as well, with those intentions set that as the water slowly takes this symbol, every bit of the intentions of the maritime law undoing is going to be taken with it. I also use my personal Reiki symbol that was bestowed upon me by my guides a couple years ago. I included that in the symbols that I had drawn into the sand. And I fully believe with each mission that I did, and the opening ceremony and closing ceremonies that I did with Huna Tawakuya, there was a light breeze on the days, but I definitely felt that the winds picked up. The winds and the powers of the elders picked up and blew right through our ceremonies, just letting me know, hey, we are right here. We are supporting you through this. We're very proud of you guys. You have our full support on this. And they made their presence quite known, that they were with me in the opening and closing ceremonies and on my personal missions as well. And I know that on the Port Huron mission, after I'd done those symbols and I allowed the waves to wash them away, I stood with my feet, allowed the waves to kind of touch my feet, and I was prepping my energy before I did my personal ceremony. I had my toku. My presence was known with my back to everything, and I was facing the water. I could feel hate. I could feel it behind me, to the point where I had to turn around and do a scan of like, okay, I'm going to assess this situation real quick. And as I did my scan, I then found the source of the hate, and it was directed right towards me, which would explain why I could literally feel it on my back. With my experience with energy work and transmuting, I kind of giggled to myself because I said, oh, you really don't enjoy what I'm here for, but I'm going to take all of the energy of your hate towards me, and I'm going to transmute that toot sweet into more power, love, and compassion, and I'm going to add that to the ceremony. And I did that. Every intention, as I drew the symbol into the sand and I did my ceremony, I gained the power of that hate as I transmuted it into the love and the undoing of that hate. I would have to say that Port Huron mission for me was the strongest one, because my hater gave me even more power. So, and then when we did
energy.
right, yeah, I was kind of laughing to myself, like, you have no idea that you are really, really helping me. So
Well, I was going to say, without exception, for those who you'll see soon the maps of Michigan but each of our ceremonies, without exception, was near water. It could have been a stream. It could have been a Great Lake. It could have been a bigger river, but without exception, the water was there. And it was our intention, as we know that water has consciousness to it. It has memory. And their muki is there. It's there to heal as well. So we had a great water weaving in each one of those ceremonies, because at each of those spaces, I collected the water, and we incorporated that in our closing ceremony with all of that intent. So that was, without exception, every space had its own water source.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. I just wanted to add too that, for one, if you see me go in and out, it's because ironically it is pouring outside and storming. So it's perfect for the show's title, right? But one thing that I have observed, that we have observed, is that the movements of the energies and the cleansings that takes place upon releasing those dense energies that are stored within the lands, it's phenomenal, you know. And so for some, especially here in the Caribbeans, I've been doing the undoing codes, especially when I do it on the beach. We have, like, if I really want to get a storm brewing over here, hurricane season or not, I just could go do the undoing. And I record it all the time and report it, because it's actually included in the Dragons Masters, where Elder Malta will say, you will see the environment and in the atmosphere change, and you know, with these codes. And they do. They not only move you inside and begins to undo parts of you that no longer serves you, but your environment as well, the planet, the collective, you know. And the more that I'm noticing that we are linking in together from different parts of the earth, we are really becoming the world bridgers. And it shows, even through the reportings, through the expansions, even the expansion in our electromagnetic fields. The more that we are doing these missions in the most infinite ways, we are expanding even within our electromagnetic fields. And I feel like that is another reason why we are kind of in each other's business now, because we're like interconnecting now more than ever. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more to come, and there's so many other projects that we're all working on together as Hunas. There's so much weaving that is going on, and it's really, really interesting how this is all picking up and where it's going, because it's not going towards one direction, it's going towards many. And it's really a lot of our potentialities are surfacing, and potentialities that we never really considered would be. For example, we always, for the most part, missions were once understood as only being in the physical place, which, yes, we do have to be in a physical place, but now we're understanding that we can also support one another more and amplify those spaces, because we're understanding that there is no limitations. And so we are expanding past limitations, even as Hunas, and we're feeding each other this stuff. Like, we're activating each other simultaneously, the more that we remember each other and the more that we come in contact with each other. So I just wanted to say again that it's a phenomenal feeling, and it's truly a work of a guardian for sure. Definitely work of a guardian, but so much more. So much more.
Thank you, Huna. This next moment here, we're going to take a quick pause for the entrepreneurships and the businesses to share with you guys, a little break, and then come back with some very interesting, let's say, alignments and changes in the field of the masculine and the feminine that has taken place over this past week. directly regarding the tears of a dragon. Certainly, the subject of this gathering here. So after this little break, if we are ready now, Tamaki, T-Mac, we'll come back and get all up into it again once more in a moment. So let's just take a short pause for the calls and we'll be right back, okay?
Need some Reiki or Rife energies? Or perhaps you need some Lemurian healing products. If you are in the UK, look no further than Huna Kahatota at www.hunashealings.earth. For all of your high vibrational healthcare needs, you can visit Huna Kaparore at www.lightinaction.earth. Oracle readings rooted in the Lemurian operating system. Get your Oracle reading with Huna Kahasahi at www.flc.earth. Live online journeys, energy clearing modalities, and sound healing sessions for new families with Huna Kahiwaha. Head to www.rl5.earth.
My ninja, my cousin Black Jesus, he gonna do a one-on-one session with me. All you gotta do is buy a raffle ticket. Come and be with Huna Flash. It's like that. Fantastic. Welcome back. I understand we have some photos and mappings to share, do we not? So let's just get into that before I share onto this other subject of the title of the show. Would you like to do that, guys? That's great. Maybe you can explain where you began and which direction you traveled, or all the protocols traveled, despite, and then where it completed.
Okay, so you can see here our different intentions. We started, actually, the originality point was to start up at the top point there. The very top, most northern point that's Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. It's also Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. There is a river that separates the two countries. It's called St. Mary's River. So there's a lot of history, of course, with the indigenous up here in this area, and of course, religious that would be in the 1600s, around this time period. But we started, it was too far north to go there to start there. So we started from the west and went directly west. That's where Grand Rapids, Michigan is, and kind of went to a southwest direction. That would be Kalamazoo. Directly to the south, where that cross is at the bottom of there at the base of the Michigan map, there is Bloomfield Hills. And then we went in a counterclockwise rotation, as you can see here, to the east there, then became Port Huron. And these areas up in here is there was like a petroglyphic state park that we did ceremony there. And then at the very tip top is, of course, the Sault Ste. Marie's in both of the countries. And then that interesting one, though, on the upper left there, the northwest area, that was in the bay of Grand Traverse Bay. There is a Michigan Stonehenge structure made of granite that is in the waters, location unknown. It's in indigenous areas, and the people who had discovered this Stonehenge type structure wanted to respect that information. So we gathered in and amplified those energies from Stonehenge and that granite. And then our center pulling of the net there is right in the smack middle there. That's Lansing. That's our capital. We were at the state capitol building. So
when you say pulling the net, when you say pulling, what are you pulling?
Well, we are engaging the mechanism at that point. After we have painted all the targets, all of those areas, which we took crystals, incorporated specific crystals. I had just used Apache tear crystals that were appropriate in those areas of the indigenous, amethyst, clear quartz, rose quartz, and some lapis lazuli in certain spaces, and incorporated each of those bearing of the crystals in each as we were painting the targets there. And encompass them when we were pulling the net and engaging that final mechanism there. Lansing on the closing ceremony had brought in all of the weaving, right, of the waters, and in all the spaces I gathered land samples as well, and it all on the same crystals, right, so that we could incorporate all of the energies, and just had a beautiful hodgepodge, right, of elements for sure. Yep.
Do you have another image?
Yep. Yep. So this is just our areas here, starting there from the west. Interestingly enough, I wanted to bring out the first number one there was in Grand Rapids, the Van Andel area, Trump. This was an interesting thing that happened on the way I was going there. Tama K sent me a announcement that President Trump and his running mate were going to be doing a rally at an arena that was in Grand Rapids. Now, I was on my way to Grand Rapids. And so I felt that I needed perhaps to do ceremony there and to clear that arena. And as I'm driving over there, I asked my guides, I said, can I just have a sign, please? That's what I'm supposed to do. And I was very intentional. I thought, well, I'll just ask for a lion. And then I thought to myself, I wonder how they're going to supply that, because how many lions and lion essences that we might see in our course of our day. But I will tell you, I have a picture of it. Within about 10 or 15 minutes of me requesting this, I was looking at the back end of a semi truck, and it said Lion Force on it. And I knew that that was what I was supposed to do. So actually that was my first stop in clearing of that arena. That, I believe that was the first rally after his assassination. Tom, okay, if you want to go to the next slide, I think it will pull up that. Oh, well, no, we started with the opening ceremony. Yeah. So that was just Manataka and I, we were at this space in Metamora that's near our home. It's right on a lake. You can see we have all of our weavings together. But interesting on the geometries of this day, which was on the 18th. It's in the lower left-hand corner. It's the compression is what we see here. The compression of the geometries that were about ready to happen. Okay, so Tama K, if you want to go to the next one. Yep, so this is also near, after I had gone to, maybe I have the different, you'll see in a second, the Trump rally, but the Norton Indian burial mounds is a space, there's a lot of burial mounds in North America, and Michigan is not without exception of that. And in this space, this is kind of where the Trail of Death started in this area, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo area. Just to give a little history on this, back in the early 1800s, you know, the indigenous, their lands would, based on skirmishes, battles, what have you, in treaties, lands would be given to, you know, as concessions. And I think it was in 1821. This is where the government kind of comes in. And if you're not a Christian, you are savage, right? And if you don't convert to Christianity, then you need to leave because you're not civilized. That was really the message. That was the intention. It took about 10 years for that, for the government to enforce this extermination of the indigenous peoples in this area. They enforced it around 1830. And in some of them went to the north, back up into Canada, which led through the state of Michigan. And then some went down into, you know, meeting up with the Trail of Tears, which we know about in history. That was from the Cherokee, going from the Tennessee area all the way out west. So I have my dog with me because he's a good worker with me. He just so happened to start digging in that area. I knew that that's where the crystals were supposed to be buried. And so we caught that information, or caught that on tape, on picture for him. Okay, next one. Yep, here is the arena. Yeah, there was not really a lot of land to do ceremony with, but the trees actually had some roots and some dirt and some leaves, and so we incorporated that in there. There's the confirmation of the lion force. That was my go ahead and do that. Okay, next. Right after I went to this space. Kalamazoo is not too far from that space. Again, this is in the middle of a park that's in the middle of Kalamazoo. There's all these government buildings, the federal buildings, a lot of churches, drawing a lot of energy into the space. So a lot of clearing was necessary. We reset that area. And again, each time I go to a space, I'm building one of these pillars of light. I'm playing and recording all the Huna's codes, logging codes in this part of the ceremony. I have to say that Kahasahi was involved in this as well. She sent me a recording. She was involved in these ceremonies as well. There's our confirmation there. 444 was a common code that of confirmation after each of these trips. All right, I'm going to have
Mahopaku.
Yeah, Mahokapa to speak about this a little bit. This was part of our intentions, of course, is unraveling the undoing of the religious matrix. This is a Detroit Mormon temple. It's prevalent in this area. It's just another, I grew up as a Mormon, just for people to know. So I'm not targeting, we're painting a target, but I left my particular, the religion that I grew up about 2.5 years ago, very soon after my seal. And it served a purpose. it served a purpose. It was a foundational thing for me, and I woke out of the box, and am helping to clear some of these now with the help of the Hunas. Mahopaka, can you speak to this? Because he was here with me on site.
On site was a very well, how could I use that word? It was very exciting. There we go. Exciting. We had a Mormon that came. He wasn't even from this timeline. This Mormon was from a different timeline and came, huh?
Look at Huna Flash is putting up 1444. Love it.
A Mormon from so that's confirmation. So a Mormon from a different timeline and was on site and just casually walked by. Not only did that happen, it was also a force field put up around us while we was doing the work by the different elemental beings there. And that picture right there, you see with the circle and the arrow, that's a Honu motu. So that's the turtle. That's turtle. And that's also my motu corrected into the Lemurian birth chart. That's my motu, you know. So not only do you have the support of the beings on site, but you also have the support of all of the angelic nations, as well as the star beings and the star nations and the motus, both extraterrestrial, terrestrial, astral. Um, and not only was that the only one that we captured, it was also it was a ship. It was a few ships that trailed close by as well. And for those of you all who know, we all have our own ships as well, like the light ships from the blue ray and the gold ray and the violet ray. They all trail close by in protection and in full on support.
Beautiful. I have to say that Mahupaku, I was in my car waiting for him to do the ceremony, and all of a sudden I see him coming across the parking lot, and I didn't realize, by the way, till after the ceremony was done, he was calling an Uber, and he had taken an Uber to quite a distance to come. It was about an hour drive. His dedication to the mission and to the work. I just wanted to recognize you, Huna, because I know that is a part of the journey, and I see you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your dedications. Absolutely. I wanted to say as well that the 444, I don't know, I share it a lot about it. It's, as I understand it, it is a wavelength. It is wave length. So is water. So it's a wave. Everything's coming in waves. So the 444 has been showing up a lot. All everywhere, so many people, and that's a weaving of the water of the wave with a plasma. So ships in the clouds, plasma, and so this is the water these days. Anyway, let me allow you to carry on.
Beautiful. Okay, Tamake, if you could get to the next one. Okay, Natalie, she had spoken of this space.
Oh, this is Port Huron. Yes, yep. So the location that I did my ceremony was not the location that I had been planning on. That happens a lot for me. I will come up with an idea, and then my guides say, "Oh, you had the right thought, but we're actually going to do this." So upon driving there, there was traffic. There were a bunch of people. I was not able to go to the location that I wanted. Instead, they wanted me to move a little bit north up the beach. Upon getting there, there were various options, and the one that I chose, I didn't choose. I was guided to choose that one. And circling back to the amount of hate that I felt on my back, I know that that location was very specifically chosen so that I could, in the moment of that ceremony, undo. Just to show I think, for myself, and to really amplify the power of what our mission was for this entire net of Michigan, was to undo the hate. And in the amount of power that was behind that was incredible. But being able to put that into the sand, and then after my ceremony was done, I went back to the water. I also redrew the symbols in there, so that that extra oomph that had been transmuted into love, compassion, and the undoing could then be again sent back to the water. I did not get documentation of it, but there was, after my ceremony was complete, I know that we were guided to kind of look for a sign. And one of the signs that I saw was a pregnant woman had taken notice of my ceremony. And she, for whatever reason, I will say, she was compelled to then come stand in the sand of where I had drawn the symbols for my ceremony. I learned of that afterwards. And the picture that you can see of me walking, my twin had come with me, so she was able to get that picture. So that picture is me after doing the ceremony, heading to the water to put in the final symbols, to allow the waves of the Great Lakes to take all of that energy and spread it to, by now I'm going to say, all the water on the planet. It has been long enough, but I know that the power that I felt as I stood in the water after the ceremony, allowing those waves to touch my feet and take the intentions back with it, I could feel that. I could feel the breeze of the ancestors coming around me, letting me know that, hey, we're here. We appreciate what you're doing. I could feel the energy of the water as if it was hugging my feet and saying thank you, and taking every bit of that energy of the intentions that the team had set and taking it with it. It was a very spiritual experience for me personally, but being able to see that the woman that was carrying life and going to bring it in was energetically drawn to stand on the area was definitely a confirmation for me, that undoing is going to go into that life that will be born into a world that is not going to be of the current, well, I don't want to swear on here. I'll say muckery, the current muckery that is on this planet. I do believe that the energy has gone into that unborn child, and then that mother was definitely drawn to absorb it.
Yeah, we know that the maritime law thing is huge, and with so many ports, right? As we know, with the little ones coming and going, and other beings being, going in and out, goods that are not good, going in and out of ports, right? And the connections of all of that and undoing that. And I know that there are new ports that are currently under construction. So that there's definitely an undoing and a rebuilding.
When you scribed your symbols, Manakata, did you scribe the sand, and then did you drop Kotahara on the scribe?
Yep.
Okay, so when the child is inside that container, placed in the container in the womb, absolutely offers a stronger opportunity for the child to arrive into a world of less to little interference, so to speak. And that is what we're maintaining at this time, until such time as we get this completely into the system of zero interference. That's where we're heading to. So as the child's coming through, more and more we are in the guardianship. We are clearing the space for the child to come through at this time, and then ultimately the pure child of light will enter and can only enter into a world of zero interference. And this is what we see, what we know, we look forward to. Of course, we are already However, this is a moment of guarantee. So thank you as you make your symbols, as you weave your water. You're presenting a stronger, let us say, a more intense and stronger guarantee that things will maintain little interference to even absolutely no interference on our way to that. Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful.
it gave me great hope to see that instant, the instant gratification that I can see that this is working, like right in the moment, as soon as I was done, that's going into a life that is still growing. That energy is going to be in that DNA. It was an incredible thing to be a part of.
Okay, Tama, okay, if you want to go to the next one. We're going in this, we're on the eastern side now of Michigan. You can see there's a little map there. We're now in the north, or starting to be in the northeast. This is a petroglyph national park. Currently, this is an area, and this space is where many indigenous ceremonies currently take place. It's sacred land. It's a very nicely maintained area. And as I was doing ceremony there, you can see the confirmation of the butterfly, which is my motu. And it's my actual favorite colors. I don't see very many of the butterfly that is the dark and the blue. And so that was a special confirmation there. The support medicines of the butterfly motu are the caterpillar, the drone bee, and the caterpillar. And this is very interesting because they are structural. If you think, the drone bee creates the structure of the hive. It's a hexagonal shape. It mirrors our matrix. And the caterpillar liquefies. It liquefies its state. It goes from one type of element into another type of element, from water or a water mass, right, into something different, and goes into an air element, which is the butterfly. So I think it's a very beautiful weaving of those energies that's supported.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, fantastic. The bee, or hutoa, okay, we all mimic that structure. The masculine is a pillar who holds the foundations of the frame for mother, the queen, the feminine, and the feminine has the container and the creation energy, the toi, inside that. So not only is the bee, is also all of us. So this idea, the ideal and the notion of masculine, feminine have their role. Truly, whether we can even say mother or father, the essence of is that to allow te toi o ngā rangi, or the creation, through this relationship, that the masculine hold up the foundations and build the frame, and the feminine, the mother feminine, gives birth through that framework, whether human or not, whether the word mother or father even, that is the structure. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Tamek, if we can go to the next slide. Now we're going up into the other upmost part, to the northern part, the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and Canada area. When I originally had looked at this, the mapping of it, you can see the pentagram center point there. What drew me to this area is when the Huna team, was in the UK. I know that there's a very big vortex in this space, and it is what connected to the energies of the net of Maui that was done in the UK. And so this kind of is what sparked it. Anyway, this is just the area that I was entering into. Tameke, if you can go to the next. This is the area I found that had where most of the religious institutions, it was interesting to see so many, of course, are on ley lines. And the Masonic Lodge was on, they're all in a line where I found them. The Masonic Lodge, there was a Mormon church meeting house. There was an Islamic mosque. They were all in the same line. And then when you cross over the river, it continued to another area that we'll go into, which was a Catholic space. But this was a little creepy, I have to say, the Masonic Lodge, because I did that at night, like about 11 o'clock. And it was kind of creepy because I was in the back space of that, and it didn't have good energies. And so it was under the moonlight. I had to be a warrior in that moment. Make sure that I was, I felt protected, of course, but it was still a little creepy. I have to say, it was fine. But this is the religion. This is the matrix, the religious matrix that we're the power. And I do believe that humanity is coming into this space now. It's been unraveling, but it's going to unravel big time very soon. And my heart does go out in compassion, because for so many, we have put maybe our energies in spaces that were not in alignment. Source, we don't need an in-between between us and source, and humanity is going to see this. It will still be an undoing for them, and I know that we will all be showing up in our own way as we help our fellow brothers and sisters while we are in this process, because it is coming.
We have somebody here that just popped in. Matakuri, did you have a question or something? Just unmute your microphone.
Oh,
Can I speak to the undoing of the religious matrix?
Absolutely.
I can say that one, after my seal, I did share this with Flash. It was like an immediate like reality shift for me personally. I was shifted into a new space to grow and develop and integrate. So 7 days precisely, and then moved into a higher timeline and moved back to the space I came from. On a higher state and a higher vibration, of course. So same people, same place, but not the same reality. So it's like a higher dimension and perception as well. As far as the religious matrix, I had religious family members who didn't really accept my way. I practiced my spirituality, and so I was seen as like somebody that was not knowing what he was doing, or what I'm doing was demonic and this and the third. Okay, now since the seal and since the current upgrades within the grids in this mission, of course, it was an amplification of energies. And I've noticed family members and friends and even those around me, it's like subconsciously everybody is aware, and like they there with the information. Subconsciously they're there, but like Matakuri, what's that, Matakuri? I know Tadakuya said, just like Tadakuya said, they are undoing in their own way. So it's for sure an individualization in that energy. And it's going to take a fair bit of patience and acceptance, and a lot of kindness. Like Huna told me in my cell, be kind to them. Be kind.
thank you. Okay,
Yes. Just Matakuri, did you have a question now that your mic is open?
Hi. I was
Hi.
just hi everyone. I was just listening to my brother there, and I didn't have a question because he's basically been saying what has been happening. I've just popped in So joined through the StreamYard, and yeah, this kindness thing and the energy and the whole collective that is happening. I just wanted to say that we as the Hunas, it's not a question. I'm just going to state that I'm feeling us all working together in a way that is so strong that it doesn't even need words. And yeah, so I just wanted to thank everyone. So I had just popped in. So wawa to everybody.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Wawa, sister.
So this is just again pictures of the mosque. We know that every year the pilgrimage there is the center around the black box, the black stone. Not so nice, but it's undoing. It's fine. Another, again, there was a Mormon church there. So this was all in Canada. Next slide. I popped across the bridge, was happy to be back in the States. Just, I didn't know, I'm not used to driving on the different streets and the lights. Yeah, right. When you're in a different country, you're just in different spaces. So this is a very interesting space, this Tower of History. It is a very big, I know Huna Flash, I know that you know this space. You spoke to it before. And
Yes.
I'm not really sure why it was built. They say it was built for a certain reason and it was kind of abandoned, but there's just nefariousness all around that. So resetting that was a big thing. I could feel that. I was able to do ceremony very early in the morning. It was about 7 a.m. So there was no one around me. I could take my time. This church is right next to that tower of, I call it the Tower of Terror. What do you know about this space, Huna?
Well, all the towers are being reprogrammed.
Yeah.
So it's certainly part of what your work is doing. And years ago, when I was in Sault Ste. Marie, in the 80s, there was a lot to do with these churches and the residential schools. Okay. I don't know if you guys, many here may know about the residential schools and these religious institutions who were at the foundation of the stealing of the children and shipping them out, shipping them across the lakes and the Windsors in the UK. That whole crew there coming to steal the children. Mm-hmm. And through, of course, across Ontario and across the lakes, and also from across Calgary and Edmonton, and from the lakes up into the northern Canada, the Western Territory, Northwest Territories, Yellowknife, all of that. So these places were these institutions responsible for the movement of the children, putting them into the stealing of the children, taking them into the residential schools, and then of course slaughtering them.
Yeah. This statue was interesting. It was at the very kind of, I think, the beginning point of this ley line that I could find. Interesting statue, of course, the children, and on each side of those were the elements, which was interesting. I felt it was being used, and so we did ceremony there as well. So next. Okay, here we are at in the northeast. This is the Grand Traverse Bay. This is where the Michigan Stonehenge is located, somewhere in the waters. I think it's about 60 feet deep somewhere. I found it was 60 feet deep. And so I could kind of look in the areas where it would make sense from a topographical underwater map. So I can kind of feel into maybe where the area was and pointed myself in that direction as far as the intentions. It was a beautiful sunset that night. It was rewarded by beautiful weather and a lot of confirmation by feathers of birds. That was, I kept for each of the Hunas because I gathered them. Next slide, Huna Ameke. There we go. There's some pictures of what that looks like.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, next slide. So this brings us now to our pulling, engaging the mechanism, we lovingly call it. Manataka was with me on this closing ceremony. I was able to go right to this grandmother tree, and I felt like a divine feminine and masculine tree. As you can see, I tapped into this. I feel like this is Michigan's tree of life. It's beautiful space. It's actually, you can see that there's fencing all around it with supports because the tree is so immense. But I felt that as we had weaved and with all the elements, part of that was with trees and other spaces. So this was a perfect space. Hunamanaka, can you speak into this as well as when we were doing ceremony? We placed crystals. We wanted it. We couldn't figure out where to bury the crystals. So Hunamanaka, can you tell where we put the crystals?
Yes, not being able to touch the tree and transfer our energy, put our foreheads against it, I took personally. So I do want to just say that I would not leave there until I did touch that tree. So this, I stuck it through the fence, and the copper part, yeah, the copper sphere definitely touched that tree because I wanted to send our energy and something was going to touch that tree of life in Michigan. So we did get our touch in. But on the lower right-hand picture is from the back of the tree. So the way that sprouts out, there's actually like a hole. So we realized, okay, this actually really works out well for us because if we can properly toss each crystal in, if we can make that shot, then they're going to be touching like the base of all those sprouts. And we did make those shots. So we set our intentions with each of our crystals and we got each of our shots in. It made it fun. We did get some attention of onlookers, but it was fine. But we got the crystals in, each crystal that we wanted in there. All of them went in no problem. And as a confirmation, within that fence, we were not going to be told no. That fence was not stopping us. So our samples, our soil samples that we also mixed in the water samples that she had gotten, we mixed that all together, and we were sprinkling that in. And our confirmation was that wildlife, they may have mistook it, and it looked like from our baggies that we were putting food in there, but they came and they were a part of our ceremony there at the end. They came to kind of give us their presence, dance around, and be a part of that last bit. But we do want to reiterate that a part of the team definitely touched that tree of life because I wasn't taking no for an answer.
Brilliant. Yes, of course. The Hunas are for not taking no for an answer and jumping all heights of fences of all heights.
That's funny.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Next slide, Hana Tamake. Yeah, that was just our yeah, that's that picture on the right there is our celebratory dinner. I think I have another shot of where we're doing that. But you can see there in the geometries on the 28th, that is when we finished.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Next slide. Yep, there's our celebration dinner. We've called Mahopaku on the phone because he was at work, and we did a eating physically, and he was on the phone with us, so we could share in the energy of our celebration dinner, and a confirmation, of course, of 444.
Incredible! Wow.
Next slide. Yeah, there's some after effects, which I think will be interesting information that will segue into this. As we know, the divine feminine, this was opening up a pathway for the divine feminine. As we know, recent news of the king of the New Zealand's Maori king just passed away after 18 years, and his daughter, I think she's 27. The elders named her as the next queen.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to that.
Yes.
It's part of the Tears of a Dragon, if I can. Of course, this is my king passed away, and also I knew the queen before there was the king. Now, this young lady here, who is now the queen, she was the granddaughter of the granddaughter of the queen. She was, I remember her little girl, she was always being, follow her grandmother around, was always, held her grandmother's hand everywhere she went. So when she became queen, it was just incredible confirmation. She's so young. We do recognize this diplomacy as being part of our connection to, of course, and the monarchy, the crown, and the Tears of the Dragon. As the king passed, and as they went through the service, the tangi, as you guys know, tangi, which means the Tears of the Dragon, and in going through now the gifting of the life from the honi and the tani through the tears of the dragon, be they for sorrow or for joy, and to realize the ha-ni, either to celebrate a life lived or a life of the living, but that all is rahni, heaven on earth, through the tears of the dragon, through the water, through the tears, through the water, weaving in waves. Now, do you have any more pictures, or is that it?
Yes. Yep. There's a couple. Yep. So we knew on August 8th, the double arch collapse there in Glen Canyon, Utah, that was shared. And as we know, arches do represent structure. And could this maybe be representative collapsing of old societal structures as a possibility? Yeah. There's another. Yep. This one of the Hunas showed this in our WhatsApp app. This just happened. Rome's ancient arch of Constantine damaged by lightning.
I did ceremony under that years ago.
Yes.
So yes.
So
Incredible.
does this lightning then mark the beginning of the end? Because we know the Constantine and the beginnings, right, of the Christianity and all of that, which represents. I thought that was very fitting this week.
Right. You know that you also are ahead of schedule. Through your actions, the more effects are coming, right?
Yeah.
More effects are coming. Perfect. And the engaging of the world machine, I call it, as the world machine begins to pull the net together, and what is being drawn in the net, and what is to be discovered there in the net, because that's a moment that's going to come too. You know, when you pull the nets in, right, you've gone fishing. Now when you come back from fishing, is you're not back from fishing yet. You're still fishing.
Still fishing.
Yeah, you're sitting here, but like I said, you're ahead of schedule. We operate ahead of it, so that we can continue guaranteeing ahead of schedule. When you're still pulling in the net, then what is in the net when you begin to look into the net? What is there? Some things can be seen sooner than others, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Next slide. There's another news Yes, this is where Mahokapaku spoke of the power outage, and then this picture of the angel was taken the next day, found on social media in Detroit, Michigan. The angelic presence.
Also, it's also symbolic of the angels, of the blue ray and the emerald ray, weaving in the codes of undoing and connecting and forming the four great pillars, or the four primary forces of the angels of the north, south, east, and west, which is the unification directive and protocol, with the center being the 0 point from the 13th harmonic, also known as Maitu.
Beautiful. Thank you, Huna. Next slide. I think this might be our oh yeah, this Huna Flash, you spoke about this, with the there was this the First Nations in Canada achieve a historic settlement to reform child welfare. It's a very large payout, billions of dollars. I think I can't read what it is, but it's significant. This is so that families now have say about what is good for their families. Yep.
Beautiful. Yeah,
Mockery. It says mockery, and I'm sorry, I just can't help that was released during the Ina Kakamoto.
That's funny, Huna.
Thank you so much for your service, your love, your compassion, your dedication, your strength, and for strengthening all of us and allowing those who are here to witness to be inspired, to be fired up, and to give others who are here to witness the opportunity to have perhaps a stronger backbone, to stand upright, to walk upright, to be of a strong mind, and all of this to share, and that has been shared here in these channels, and all the teams who are bringing that level of expansion to everybody here. I trust that all the sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds are enjoying this huge wave of information coming into you. Keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears peeled, keep your 9 senses sharpen senses occasionally. Continue with your with the login, and in the ways that you will be performing the login in your way as you become the mastery of the logging in. That it may come to the time where you need not speak it, just emit it, but it is known because you are known. And it is known when you log in that it is felt in a certain way, at a certain level that has not been on this planet for millions of years. It is now starting through these ceremonies you are bringing forth, these programming, these codes. They have not been here in a long time, and that's what you're seeding into the atmosphere. That is these codes from the times before confusion. And when the times before confusion start clearing the way, this level of connection grows thicker and stronger. We are winning. We have won, of course. We can give it on a play-by-play moment. Good enough. We can give it a play-by-play moment, not just an overview, but the play-by-play moment as we are close to 80% of being done, and of breaking through. That we are certainly over the line where there is no need to reset Lemuria 6. We are in Lemuria 5. We are into Wataka. We are aligned certainly to our families in the stars of the Pleiades, as you've seen, the 444 codes coming through, working from the alignments of first light, the light before confusion. You are bringing all that and then some, of course, to everybody, and reminding them they see you. That's why they stop and look at you. They go, I know, hey, I know you. I know you. Give me a hug. They just want a hug. I know you. They just want a hug. Kimuria, oh, I've seen, you're back. And you may know them. And you must say, oh, you're back. What do I mean by you're back again? Your consciousness has returned, your memory has returned, and so you are back. Not the physical. Your consciousness has returned, and so you are back, and you have clarity again. The remembering has entered. And the journey has been long for many. That journey of the memory returning has been long for many. Stick to it. Stick to what you're doing. You are beautiful at what you're doing. I look forward to the SEAL team members, those who have their experiences now. I look forward to being with you at the Stargates. Possibly there's the next sets of Stargates that are coming up. We've got a place where there's actually 4 of them to hit directly if you want to do that many in one shot, inside of 1 month. That's a lot of energy, man. But certainly if you make it to one of them, you'll understand why. You understand the feeling. You so much more will come rushing in. And anything else you want to share here?
Just for all y'all, I'm pretty sure all at the house of Huna know, but full on support from the Solar Dragons, from the Blu-ray to the gold to the violet to the red. Full on support and restoration of the lines. So if you have any dreams or any times during meditation, you see yourself riding the dragon through a portal or a vortex, it's traveling. And not only are you traveling through that, but you also returning the codes and the corrected codes of that land and that lineage. And of the long white dragon, the Kumara, to the Lemurian schools on the other side and the mystery schools.
I do want to mention one thing as well.
Yes, please.
I want to also report, I noticed that the dates, and Huna Tarakuya had mentioned that they wrapped up on July 28th. The following day, we started a whole separate mission that we're still on called Restoring Lighted Days. And what we're doing is on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of each month, we gather together to expose the matrix manipulation, and then we do ceremony, and we also reveal that moment, the Unra. And I just want to mention that on the 30th, and I feel like this was weaved into what you were doing, Kim, but on the 30th, while we were on mission with a group of sealed Hunas as well as non-sealed Hunas, we manifested a tornado. And that was on the 30th. So I can't help but to feel that that was also connected to that. It was supporting that work. It was weaved in together, and I had no idea until you mentioned, this to me the other day. But it's all weaving and connecting together.
What I would like to add on to that was that at our closing ceremony in Lansing, as Huna Tarakuya was doing her part of the closing ceremony, what I got to witness was the view of pretty much a golden tornado above the Capitol, and it was not a tornado that would cause fear or anything. It was one of comfort and strength, power and energy. I saw that forming from the energy of our ceremony. So I think that's pretty sweet that you guys also, I would say they are definitely directly related. Yes.
Yes. And where the tornado hit, it actually reached 3 different sealed Hunas that were in that ceremony who were able to report that tornado, but it did not touch them. It did not touch them. So it goes in with it being golden. It wasn't destructive. It was more so cleansing and moving those energies around. So gratitude for sharing that.
Yeah.
Incredible. Vortexes, golden, Blu-ray, violet ray, Kumara, Dragon Council. Everyone's having a good time. It is a good time. We got more, of course, we've got to get together and do more, like I said, certainly. I hope that who is watching is who are and the Dragon Masters that you are preparing, that you are getting ready, because now that we are coming into we are in the Namu Motu now. We're coming up to some very incredible energy that's being released this month. It's been every month for the past year increments, but this particular month is a revealing of the wings of the feathers of the wings are now spread open. It's just really fanning out, spreading out. And that what revealed today in the rainbow feathers that came across our observation. And then of course all of the energies with geopolitics around the world is a fallout from all of the work you're doing. That's the fallout. Those are the effects. Those are important to track, and that's going to release an incredible amount of energy. There are going to be a lot of tears, so many tears here very shortly on the planet of joy. So many incredible waves of tears of joy in the wavelength of a full breath, the full expansion of the inhalation and the exhale, and the inhale and exhale. That full breath is going to be shared very soon in one breath by all of us. That's going to bring such incredible waves of the tears of the dragon, of the Muki Muki, in support of the joy. Will finally be there. That's starting to move now. And so from now to September 11 and through the geometries that you guys know now through this Namu Motu. As we're getting close to wrapping up here, I wonder if there's a question. If anyone has a question, we're going to take one question if we can. We are right on top of it now. So if there is a question, you've got to come onto the screen, ask one of the members of the SEAL team here, ask them a question. You've got to come and show up. So there's the link right there. Make sure that you mute your YouTube volume before you enter into the StreamYard. Okay. Okay, please come and you're invited to ask a question. As we're waiting for that question, Tamak T-Mac wants to share something regarding the Maori Queen. So if you'd like to do that, T-Mac, that'd be
Nine.
Cool.
Yet.
We.
So I decided to put together her birth chart. And I don't have the exact time that she was born. So I'm using the 1111 code like I usually do for the other ones. And I don't know if Sasha's here because I was texting her about this last night. She was born in the 8th month of the Lemurian calendar year as a He'a. And she's got 8 He'a. At the 1111, mind you, but there's still 8 He'a. And there's big Okapi too. So there's a big, big heart medicine from this very young woman. And add in a dash of Hunu in there as well, the medicine of the quantum navigator. This is how she's expressing herself. And the Huna, when we were talking about the percentages yesterday, I did make that stack.
Yes, the percentages are incredible.
Look at this.
It's great to receive that percentage.
Very strong foundation with her grandmother. Because Huna had mentioned seeing her with her grandmother, and when I did this, I saw there's grandmother right there in the main layer, in the core, in the foundation of everything. Yeah, pretty incredible. And I also decided, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, for those who are not sure what you're looking at here, this is all in the Lemurian system known as the Wataka. And to the knowledge and wisdom of the Dragon Masters of Lemuria 5. So the percentages of the birth signs here, replacing the codes of zodiacs and the medicines connected to each of the birth signs, represented by these star beings here. Certain percentages of each medicine, representative of the medicines from the geometry of the crystalline and motu geometries, showing up in their succession here, and in their levels and layers. So it's incredible to be able to see the percentage of medicines involved within the geometry of the crystal form of the motu, and get a glimpse, even to have a glimpse of that, but certainly to understand what is coming into support.
Gesundheit.
And so, for those who are watching, please, go to thequantumnavigator.earth. Go to flc.earth. Go to the recommendations on the website to learn about all these things.
And that is the geometry that comes through the birth chart.
Feeling of more. Knowing is a feeling of more. And when there is a feeling of more, you get closer to the feeling of more, then you can let it go into the feeling of nothing. But knowing is a feeling of more. And there's to gauge that and have a gauge of that feeling of what is more, what is it about? If you can't remember and you don't know, you can remember. But you do know, just so when you remember and given the opportunity to remember that, it comes rushing in, and there's so much more to dig around and find. It's a treasure hunt too, It is a treasure hunt. It's not just me sharing stuff with you or any of us sharing stuff with you. It's a treasure hunt, as you know, and all of you have all been on a treasure hunt. You're all on a treasure hunt right now. Yeah, in a way, we're looking for that. What we're looking for. So that's. Go ahead, Tamaki. Sorry.
This is the geometry that comes out of the birth chart.
Look at that. Look at that. Have you seen such a thing?
Those are blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't draw at all. You should see my notes. It's a bunch of pictures with a little plus sign, and then it says in 3D. Like, I can't draw. But this is what I've been trying to draw. This has been all summer long. I've been getting this image.
This specific image.
Bits and pieces of this. It's been giving it to me in parts. Wow. I mean, I'm just so relieved to finally see it, because I can't draw to save my life. But finally, that is... Oh, I'm so relieved. But, okay, so I've been getting that pretty much all summer.
Wow. And I've been doing the geometries for almost a year now. This is the first time I found this particular one is when I did this birth chart.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The geometries are created by the birth charts. They're created by the motus, their alignment and their trajectory on any given day, on any given unra, light of days, within the cycles of seasons of love, within the 28 days times 13. And they can only be, as far as we know, that's how they are built, within truth and honesty, without interference and manipulation. Lemurian style. So these are created from the matrix of benevolence outside of the draconian Gregorian astrology. Yet it is in the upper Kuta, it is in the astrology, it is in the cosmic, and it is in the terrestrial, celestial and terrestrial alignments. It is in up above and below, and the below to the above. But that comes through, it comes through from the birth signs, from the motus. That's how they make that, how it's done. Well, I don't mean to give away the secret sauce, Tomak, there, but I'll leave the rest for you, because people want to know. Incredible blueprints.
Can either of you share some maybe interpretations of what we're looking at, just to wet our whistle? I mean, you know,
I feel intuitively what I'm observing is like a telescope and like pouring in light. If you can see, like at the top of the crystal, you see like the concentration of most of the energy, and then towards the bottom you see like a it kind of like I see it like a scope or like a quartz crystal, and then pouring in light, like downloading into the grid.
This is one way to look at it.
Yep, of course. Pillar being anchored into the earth.
I just want to say, when I got mines, I felt like it was a piece of me. It was a piece of me, and it was also a piece of me that activated another piece of me. And that's why I call them blueprints, because it is a representation of the individual essence, I feel, coming in through that moment.
Yes.
In that motu.
That's the description that I've gotten from other people that have had theirs done. And they also describe them as starships.
And that's just one form of the geometry, because there's like two other types that you've done.
Yeah, this is new for the public. That yeah, we can make mandalas of these, which I started doing.
looks like I need to book something. I had a reading with you very early on, which this was
long
not
time ago.
offered.
Yeah,
Looks like
yeah.
I have to book something.
Yeah, so there's you might get a redesign of the birth chart.
Beautiful.
Since you were early in, and we'll look at that. Yeah.
Exciting.
Yes, it's all very exciting. Well, fortunate to be remembering. Yeah, some would say, we channeling this in? No, we're remembering it. Because we know it already. We're just, There's some modalities that I reintroduced, like the rods of God, which is a modality, and I totally forgot all about it. And one day we were going to go to Mont Saint Michel, and I thought, Hey, I can remember this modality we used to do called the rods of God. I called it the rods of God. Hey, let's do that. It's very electrical. It's very powerful, and you just forget sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that one. So yeah, there are things popping in, and like Mana Kata, she's seeing and remembering the geometry because hey, there's an awakening going on. All right, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen, Hunas and Hunettes? Hunas and Hinas? It's been wonderful sharing, wonderful experience, immersed in your missions. I want to thank you, Huna Tarakuya, and thank you for your patience, and everybody for being able to get together today to really share it in a really proper way. We can have conversations amongst each other, but still, when it's like this, we really get the opportunity to dig into it and dig it.
Dig it.
All righty. Anything else to share, Tamake, before we bounce?
Nope.
We done it all today?
We'll be on the road soon.
Yes. Just to share before we go, I would like to close with this. Burning Mask is coming up. I have finally put together the framework for the panel and the instructions and the guidance for the elders to follow as we go through. As we go through the 3 days of panel and conversation and sharing of the knowledge. What I want to share with you is that this burning mask, the summit of the Wawa, the format for the speaking goes like this. It's formatted in 3 dimensions. The first dimension, we will discuss the level of the elements or elements within dimension 1, first dimension, before intention. So we're going to be talking and breaking open the elements and blueprints in the crystalline form, and to the base form of crystal. Certainly, these elements represent the consumables. They represent the consumable product, that the creation of consumable products that have also supported the manipulation and the cause of racism. And what you're consuming is not just about a poison or a drug. It is in the intention of the codes to cause fear and continuous separation through racism. You're may have been literally eating it in a way. So we're going to, and it's not anyone's fault. That's not a judgment. That's just we eat, But at that element level of dimension 1, we're going to begin there to break open those elements and those codes, to take a good look at those codes. It's going to be very rapturing, this burning mask. I do hope that, because we are regarding racism and prejudice within our own ranks, and undoing those codes by speaking the codes and then replacing them with the sound that is a benevolent code that will replace them. We'll build them into the physical form. So we begin in dimension 1. The second day is regarding dimension 2, which is the alchemization and the mix of the elements and the intention. Remixing and not destroying, but recreating and bringing in and flipping the code's intentions to come with the sound. In the third dimension, on the third day, we come to the we have the opportunity to bring forth the code in its speaking, and it's also consumable. So to bring it to the physical form for consumption into the highest levels. But first, we must also, as we go through the first two levels to recognize that we have been a part of creating it as well. So this is where the part where we're going to get in. We're going to end up getting into a big fight, big argument, or hopefully with our strength as elders and knowledge keepers, wisdom keepers, we can hold it together and come through with something for you. Come through with something to share with you at the final day. I'm very excited to share that with everybody. I do hope whoever's listening, wherever you are, sweet dear ones, if you can make it to Vancouver on September 27, 28, 29, please. You're going to experience something and witness something that's never been done. And this format has never been done in a conference. It has never been done in a conference. All conferences I've been to and I've seen, never seen this format working in 3 dimensions to bring it from element through to alchemical into matter, antimatter. Yeah, it's a big one. Hey, if we don't get it all done in 3 days, shoot me. Boot me out and tell me to go back to the drawing board. But if it takes us all the rest of my lifetime, we're going to do it. I don't care. We're doing it. I do care, but we're doing it. Okay. So with that, let's come together on everything. We're coming together on everything. The world machine is pulling us. Te kuping our Maui is pulling it all. We're all being pulled in together. There is no pulling away. There is only witnessing. It's coming right to your face. Just be ready for it, huh?
And for those who cannot be there, there is a live stream happening.
Yes.
Go to the website, burningmass.earth. Actually, if you go into the description of the YouTube, it's the first link in there. We'll take you right to the page with all of the options. You can get all 3 days. You can get 1 day if you want. Maybe you don't want all 3 days. And make a donation. Then you get your link, and then we'll see you there on the live stream.
1551.
Oh.
Sweet dear ones, thank you so much. Much wawa to you all of those in the grams of instant and the book of face, the tubes of you, and the yard that streams. Yard that streams. We'll see you again, yeah? I look forward to it. Wawa.
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 Home and property clearings, healing lagoons, dragon rides, and Wataka retreats with Huna Kahihoe, the Light Shaman. You can find her at www.lightshaman.earth. Coaching for conscious entrepreneurship or travel is available with Huna Mahana. Book a free 30-minute consultation today at High Life Academy or High Earth Academy. tetrahedrons and obelisks for your on-site ceremonies, handmade and coated with Kotahora crystal dust by Huna Hikahima. Shipping is available worldwide at www.shiningstar.earth. Introducing Mexico's only harmonic egg, operated by Huna's Maroyata and Ma'aikuta. For all of your health support needs, be it physical or emotional, head to www.apapachar.earth.